Welcome to the next Future Flying session, where with us today we have Wendy Ward, Chief Marketing Officer at UATP. That stands for Universal Air Travel Plan. And I have to confess to not knowing a great deal about what these guys do, and I'm sure you don't either. So I'm looking forward to catching up and finding out more about this interesting organization. Wendy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joanna. I'm very happy to be here.
Really great to have you with us. So let's start by you giving us a bit of your background. How did you end up at UATP, and what have you been doing to get into this side of aviation?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, I've now been with UATP over 18 years. And previous background, nothing in aviation. And I came upon the position and I started as a manager, and I've worked my way up over the 18 years to recently being promoted in January to Chief Marketing Officer. So it's been a glorious ride, learning about payments in addition to the airline industry. And I think, like most people, once you're in, you never leave. So it's been great to just have this experience all these years.
Fantastic. So treat me like an idiot. What is UATP and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so UATP is a form of payment that has been around since 1936, if you can believe it or not. We are mainly in the corporate charge card side. So we're an entity that's owned by the airlines. And it began, as I said, back in the 30s, where it would be a form of payment for corporate flyers. So that's probably why, you and I have spoken very briefly in the past, but we're not on the consumer side, we're on the corporate side. And that's traditionally our history. In 2007, we actually started processing alternative forms of payments for the airline. So we've had the charge card on the corporate side, AFPs that we process for airlines all over the world. PayPal was our first partner there. And interestingly enough, there as well, within the first 30 seconds of making it live on our first airline, somebody booked a ticket with PayPal. So it's hugely popular. We've continued throughout that. We've got Alipay, we've got Uplift, and we try to work with the airlines and other forms of payment to really solve payment needs across the industry. And most recently, we have also started UATP One. So this is our processing platform. And we really went live last year, and we have several airlines already around the world that are using us to process payments for them. So it's a very exciting time, which started out in the corporate charge card world. And now we're looking at, anything in the industry. If somebody has a payment problem, a payment need, we try to solve it for them. And that's really our mantra.
That's fantastic. And I believe that you guys were responsible for the first ever kind of credit card, if you like. That all came from the airline industry, which I think is fascinating.
Yeah, it's most people don't know this, but when you look at any kind of credit card or charge card, we don't do credit. It's actually a charge card with the airlines, but all of our cards start with a number one. So if you look at any of your cards, you'll see number one, you'll see number 3, 2, 4, 5, goes up the gamut. And that's by year of inception. So all UATP cards will start with 1, and that means we're the first card in the world.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And, it started with American Airlines, as I said, in 1936. So the airline industry that traditionally isn't seen as an innovator truly is in the world of payments.
That's fantastic. So what are the benefits to airlines of working with you guys for this sort of charge card?
Yep, so it's multifaceted. You can cost savings, obviously, and really, the cost savings and the revenue are fantastic, but also it's all the back end stuff. So we're level 3 data, which means everything itinerary level is captured on UATP. And that's truly significant because I think everybody understands nowadays that we really are in a world of data. Look at everything that's happening in the world, and UATP has been this way since day one. And no other charge card brand, no other credit card has caught up to us on that level 3 data. And so the reconciliation is easier. The data that you capture is so much easier. And we're experts. We're experts at payments. We're experts in the airline industry, really solving pain points for people. And I think it's just been a fantastic journey that we continue to build on, and as I said, alternative forms of payment. We're one of the first companies that have ever started processing for AFPs or AMOPs, alternative method payments, however you want to say it, depending upon where you are in the world. Well, we started in 2007. PayPal went to an airline. This airline wanted help. And by doing it through UATP, it's an established network already. So UATP is really that technology, that bridge between the forms of payment and the airline. So it's become very easy for the airlines, and they don't have to do a lot of integration work. And that's additionally, with UATP1, our processing or like PSP services, it's the same thing. The integration's already there. We make it as easy as possible, and speed to market, little technical integration. These are all the things that airlines like to hear. Their goal is to get you from A to B safely. And our goal is to take care of all the other stuff on the back end and to make it seamless and, so that nobody really knows that there's anything happening. You and I want to get on a plane. We want to book it. We want to pay for it. We want to go. We want to be in our exotic location that we're going to be having, hopefully, a wonderful beachside vacation. You don't want to have to worry about payment. You don't have to worry about what happens technologically. So we take care of all of that.
That's fantastic. So in terms of these alternative forms of payment, you mentioned PayPal. Obviously, that's a really popular way to pay. People kind of expect it now. What are you seeing as the future of alternative payments? Because, I've heard about some airlines accepting cryptocurrency, for example. Is that something you guys are getting into?
So last year, we announced another partnership, and I believe it's Vueling. Yep, Vueling has already launched. So we announced that at the Airline Travel Payment Summit last year with Vueling, that it was happening and that the partnership was there. And so crypto, we've got some more exciting announcements that are going to be coming out soon in that area. Again, if it's something that is really in demand and the airlines want it and the airlines customers want it, we're going to help them make it happen.
So do you work with all airlines? Like if I'm booking, or, if my corporation is booking me a business flight on some random airline from, I don't know, the middle of Asia, is that still you? Are you everywhere?
Yes. So we cover about 95% of the ASKs around the world. There are a few airlines that we don't work with yet. You can be a merchant, you could be an issuer, and it's really merchant. That just means you're accepting UATP as a form of payment. And we have almost everybody in the world. And if we don't have you, we're going to be talking to you soon.
Fantastic. So you alluded to some of the interesting things that are going on at UATP. What's lined up for you for the rest of this year and I guess further into the future as well? What's going on with you guys right now?
Yeah, so I really think the last couple of years have been instrumental in payments. Everybody has been talking about NDC, virtual cards, the payment strategy. We've been talking about this for years. But the last 2 years, I have seen more action and more items that have come to fruition in this industry between payments and everything else in the airline industry really just start happening. I think the pandemic, let's face it, forced everybody to rethink their business practices, and everyone started looking at payments and they're like, okay, we can do better here. And how do we advance this? And so we never had a non-busy day during all those years of COVID. I mean, we took advantage of it in the fact that we changed our technology. We made it better. We brought in more issuers. We brought in more merchants. We brought in new forms of payment to process and looked at what else can we do with this phenomenal technology that we have, our network, and how do we expand upon that? So now we're looking, like I said, we launched UATP1 last year. We have more announcements coming out on the AFP side, on issuers, merchants, those airlines that are coming on UATP1, but also in just anything in the B2B space. We want to utilize our network as best as possible as a payment provider. And so we're really looking to expand on that. And then additionally, I'm as head of marketing and bringing that brand into the next iteration. So you've seen UATP advance throughout the years, technology and our global footprint, but also our look and feel, and so much more is going to be coming out on UATP. So as head of marketing, strategically, it's amazing. I get to work with people all over the world, and I never have the same day, which I think makes, anybody's life better if it's just not Groundhog Day over and over again. And you never get that in this industry. So it's always exciting. And we have a lot coming forth. And I think people should really watch this space, watch what UATP is doing, and be excited about it.
Excellent. Sounds like really exciting times for you. I'm excited for you. And I have to say congratulations, because you're quite recently promoted to Chief Marketing Officer. So great job.
Well, thank you.
Unfortunately, here at Future Flying, we seem to have a constant stream of men in suits. So it's wonderful to see an inspirational female leader on our show. What advice have you got for any other maybe ambitious young women who want to get to the top of their game?
Oh, just keep at it. Don't let anyone say you can't do this. No, why would you do that? I've been in male-oriented industries my entire life. I think the past 10 years that's changed dramatically. You see so many people, or so many women in payments, as well as advancing in the airline industry. And for me, it's just, I do the best that I can every single day, professionally and personally, and just keep charging forward. You can only be the master of your own destiny. And that's something that I've utilized my entire life. And just keep at it, because you're going to land somewhere that they love you, they appreciate the work that you do, you fit in, and you just want to do better every day. And that's thankfully, what I've had my experience at UATP and in this whole industry. I think the payments industry is pretty small. You see a lot of the same players throughout the space, and most of us know each other. And so it's a great welcoming industry. The airline industry has been fantastic. So it's all there for your taking. And charge forward, that's all I can say.
Oh, I love it. Charge forward, and very in keeping with the payments mantra. And
absolutely.
I love it. Really good. Thank you so much. So just to kind of finish up, what's your vision of the future for UATP and maybe more widely for aviation?
So for UATP, like I mentioned earlier, we're looking really to be not just, in the airline space. We're going to be a payment provider holistically. And we have this just tremendously amazing network that we're going to take advantage of, and we're going to continue to expand upon that. I think there's a lot of opportunity for everyone, and it's exciting to be in payments right now, because there is so much change and there is so much that people are wanting to do within the space. And, digital payments, everything that's coming out, these are all things that UATP can do, and we're going to. I'm very confident on that. And then the airline space as a whole, the last 6 months have been a little bumpy. Pun intended, I guess. And I think it's only going to get better. People have realized on management sides that things need to happen. And I'd see very positive statements coming out from all the airline leaders. And I think everybody realizes, these are good, positive things to learn from, or to learn and make it a positive result, I guess I should say. And I see that happening, and it's good news when people acknowledge, say, hey, you know what, we had a little bit of a rough patch, but here's how we're going to fix it. And they have been. And I think that is just going to continue. And, you hope that globally we get back to where we were a few years ago. There's a couple of markets that still need to open up a little bit more. And so I'm looking forward to that personally and professionally. And I think it's just going to be all positive change and good things to happen in both industries.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Sounds like exciting times at UATP. Thanks so much for joining us, Wendy. It's been wonderful talking to you.
All right. Thank you, Joanna.
In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.